Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if it's not your first time here. I really appreciate you coming back by. Hey, so today I wanted to compare four devices on handwriting conversion to text. Those four devices will be the Supernote Manta, the Boox Go 10.3, the ViWoods AI Paper, and the Kindle Scribe 2024 edition. A little bit of a surprise in there. So what I wanted to do is compare how accurate is the handwriting conversion to text. How well does it preserve the intent of my formatting? Does it, keep indentations and bullets and numbered lists and those types of things? And then when I export it, do I also get to keep that formatting as well? So let's go ahead and dig into these four devices, and I'm going to do them two at a time. We'll start off with the Boox Go 10.3 and the Supernote Manta, and then we'll move on to the ViWoods AI Paper and the Kindle Scribe. Okay, so I've got the Boox Go 10.3 on my left here, and I've got the Supernote Manta on the right. Let me tell you what I did first of all. So I hand wrote the same document on each one of these devices natively, so that we're not dealing with PDFs or anything like that. And when I wrote the document, I tried to make sure that I had the same number of words on each line. I used the same punctuation, the same breaks of paragraphs. I used the same types of bullets for indentations like this. I use numerical lists down here. I use some very special words such as ViWoods and books that are not typically in a dictionary for you to be able to convert and get that accurate. So all that was intentional. The documents are a page and about a quarter long. And so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and first do the conversion on the Boox Go 10.3. We'll do the text recognition here. All right, it looks like it did. So I'm just going to take you through this. I know it's probably difficult to see, but it says the purpose of this document will be to test how various e-ink, so it got e dash and then a space and then ink, so it got that, put an extra space in there. It got the word Supernote, Boox, and ViWoods correct, which is very good, and Kindle. It on my bullet points, it did not do the indentation like I have here in the handwritten, but it did capture the hyphen as my bullet point, the type of bullet point that I used. It did not do the second level indentation either, but it did capture that it was a hyphen there to indicate that it was a bullet point. Under ViWoods AI Paper, it changed that to ViWoods A/paper. Let's see here. It called the Supernote Manta the Supernote Marta. And I can tell you, as you can see, I did not. So it is spelled, that's clearly an N on each one of my devices. And then under evaluation, it did get my numerical list correct here. And everything looks pretty well. I think Boox did a very good job overall. Very few words that it got incorrect. The one thing that I would say that I wish it would do would preserve the intent of my indentations, but you could work with that. Absolutely, that's a great. If you were to export that and put that into a Word document and clean it up, it would be very easy to clean up. So let's look at the Supernote. So this is a real-time recognition note. So I'm just going to go ahead and convert this, and it converts it very, very quickly. And as you can see over here, there's a couple of things that it got wrong. So it changed Supernote into two different words, super and note. Boox, it got BOO and then a space and then some kind of a superscript X on there. I don't know what that is. It changed ViWoods, the single word, to VI space woods. Let's see, key importance, can it recognize? It did a really good job of capturing my indentations, the intent of my sub bullet points here as well. It did get this wrong where it says can it properly convert words. It's got car it properly convert words. It also, once again, it broke up Supernote into super and note, and it called it the Supernote Marta. Once again, as you can see, that was clearly an N. ViWoods is broken up, and this time instead of AI paper, it's at paper, two different words. It left off the I in my second numerical bullet point where it says is intended formatting and structure preserved. So it's just got S intended formatting and structure preserved. So in this particular test, the Manta did some things better that I think I would actually grade it a little bit better than the Boox, and the fact that it preserved my intended formatting here. And I think that I like that better, uh, despite that it had a few more mistakes in the conversion than the Boox did. Both of them did an outstanding job, don't get me wrong. Conversion accuracy was better on the Boox, just from a pure, word for word conversion. The intent of my formatting much better over here on the Supernote Manta. All right, so the next two devices we're going to look at are the ViWoods AI Paper and the Kindle Scribe 2024 edition. And we'll do the same test that we just did on the other one. So on the ViWoods, I'm going to go ahead and do AI text conversion. And let it do its thing here. It's thinking, as you can see. Now it is providing me with the text. Really good job on this. So I do like the fact that it is preserving my bullet points and my indentations. It did take away my hyphen and change that to a solid bullet, a solid round bullet, and then a hollow round bullet for the sub bullet point there. Let's check the accuracy. So it did not put the space between E dash and ink. So it got that right. Supernote books are spelled correctly. ViWoods is spelled Vinlook, Vinlook. So that was a little bit of an issue. Can it recognize bulleted? Can it handle sub-bullets? How accurate is it? So once again, it changed ViWoods to Vinlook here again. So it's not getting its own company's name correct. And then, so it did get Manta correct. Supernote Manta. It did not split up Supernote like the other device did. Boox Go 10. Once again, it called ViWoods Vinlook. And instead of AI paper, it's A1 paper. So, with the exception of ViWoods, I think it did a pretty good job over here. Like I said, I really like it preserved the intent of my formatting with the indentations and the bullet points. So far, I would say this is probably the best from not only from an accuracy standpoint, with the exception of ViWoods, and then from a preservation of my intent, I would say that the ViWoods so far is the best, followed by the Supernote and then the Boox. So let's go ahead and do the same thing over here on the Kindle. I'm going to use the Kindle pen only because I prefer that. So let me go ahead and bring this up. It's got the little AI icon here. I'm going to do refine writing. So what it does is it converts it to text in any number of fonts, but the default font looks like handwriting. So it's actually going to be converting this to text. It'll just look like handwriting. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to tell it to do the entire notebook. Now, one thing I will tell you is that the ViWoods would only do one page at a time. So it did the first page. It did not make it to my numerical list. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go ahead and convert that numerical list as well, and make sure that it picks that up. Yes, it did. So it picked up the numeric list. I don't see any. So this time it called ViWoods ViBiox. So it can't get its own name right. But outside of the word ViWoods, very good conversion. Very happy with what this device has done. So over here on the Kindle Scribe, I can do the entire notebook. I'm not limited to just one page at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start. The Kindle Scribe takes a little bit longer than the other devices, probably because the chip is a little slower. It's not as powerful as some of these other devices. Not that any ink device is incredibly powerful when you compare it to iPads or Samsungs and those types of things. But so let me just go ahead and show you what this looks like. So purpose of this document, it got e-ink correct. It got Supernote, Boox, ViWoods, and Kindle correct. Text conversion maintains the intent. It did a really good job, although it took off my hyphens and it replaced it with hollow circles. It did a really good job of doing the indentations, the bullet points, the sub-bullet points, bringing it back out to this level and then back again to a sub-bullet point. It got the ViWoods correct so far twice. We'll put the Supernote Marta. So the first error that I'm finding over here on the Kindle is the word Marta. Um, it did get ViWoods AI Paper correct, although it split up AI and paper. Totally understandable on that. Let's see, do we have any other issues here? No, it did a really good job. Surprisingly, the Kindle is absolutely, with only, one mistake on the word Marta, well, it should have been Manta. There are no errors in the conversion here. And then it did an extremely good job of keeping the intent of my formatting. So I think I would say definitely Kindle best on the conversion accuracy and maintaining the intent of my formatting, followed by the ViWoods AI Paper, then the Supernote Manta, then the Boox Go 10.3. All right, so now let's look at what does it look like when you share these documents and you want to get it off the device. You want to maintain both the accuracy and the formatting, which means that we're probably going to have to send it off as a PDF to be able to, or a Word doc or something like that to be able to keep that. So on the ViWoods AI paper, I'm just going to hit the share button. And I'm going to send it via email. You have limited options on the ViWoods on how to get it off the device. I'm going to pause while I put in my email address. Okay, I just sent that from the ViWoods to my email account. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up on my phone so that you can see what that looks like. I wish I had a bigger device to do that with, but here's what it's going to look like if that will focus. Maybe I need to bring it down a little bit further. Sorry about that. I will describe it to you if that's not easy to read. It converted the second page, and it looks just like it did here. It maintained the formatting, the intent of my, formatting, the accuracy and everything. So I think that did a really good job of exporting it off. It did it in a text format, a TXT format. So let me do one more thing. All right, so I wanted to come back over on the ViWoods real quick and reconvert the first page because I wanted to see how it exports with those indentations and the bullet points. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just thinking. Now it's got ViWood correct over here, and it's got WeWood here. But it got ViWoods correct this time, so inconsistent both of the conversions. Neither one were the same. I'm going to pause while I put in my email address. All right, and I sent that over to my phone. So let's see what this is going to look like. All right, so here's the document on my phone. It sent it over as a text file. I think I chose to do it that way, but I could have sent it as a PDF and preserved that. Take my word for that. But it did preserve all my bullet points. It preserved some of the indentations here. It got Supernote Manta correct. It got ViWoods correct. Really good job. I got ViWoods right there, as you see. That's what happened on that thing. So now let's look at the Kindle Scribe 2024. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the notebook as the last page. And then I'm going to come up and say share. I'm going to share just this current page. I'm going to share it via email. I will hide my email address here. And it should be coming across here pretty quickly. I think the Kindle is a little slower when you export as far as getting it off of the device and onto another, getting it through the email system. So I may have to clip the video here. Okay, all right, so I do have this on the Kindle. Let me go ahead and download it. Beautiful. That is fantastic how that exported. So it kept all of my formatting, the indentations, the bullet points. That is superb how that has exported there. I could certainly go and highlight this text and, get it off this and put it into a Word document relatively easily. So very, very impressed with the conversion and the formatting preservation on the Kindle Scribe. But let's go look at the Boox Go 10.3 and the Supernote Manta now. Okay, we'll start off over here with the Boox Go 10.3. So as you know, we left it as it was. I am going to hit the share button, and I'm going to share it as a PDF just so that I can keep the formatting, and I had already done this earlier, so I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to email it to myself, and I will pause while I do that. All right, that has been sent over to my phone. Or to my email. Let me go ahead and find this real quick. Here it is. So off the Boox Go 10.3, it looks similar to what you saw on the device. It is, we didn't do the indentations. It did capture the bullet points. It did a really, really good job of the text conversion. Very few mistakes. We get the Supernote Marta, but it got everything else. ViWoods correct. It got Boox correct. So very good job with the exception of the formatting. I'm only taking off marks compared to some of the other devices because it didn't keep my indents and stuff like that. But that's still pretty dadgum good from the Boox device. All right, and then last but not least, on the Supernote Manta, I'm going to go ahead and hit export here. And I'm going to select all pages and go ahead and export it as a docx, just so that I can keep the formatting. And it is document 1. So it kept my dash lines as the bullet points. It did do the indentation levels there. It got ViWoods. It split up ViWoods, as we had already seen. It got Supernote wrong, Boox wrong, ViWoods wrong. Called it a Supernote Marta. So down here it changed ViWoods to UI Woods. And capability, it split up into cap bit itty. So not a very good performance there out of the Supernote Manta as far as the export and the conversion on that goes. So I think to summarize, let me go back to the main camera. So how would I grade these 4 devices on text conversion, preservation of formatting, and exporting with that formatting? I would certainly say the Kindle Scribe is number 1, which is a little bit of a surprise. You know, the Scribe is a very basic note taker. It will give you, basic tools such as pens and erasers and lasso and those types of things. It will also give you folders where you can file stuff in folders. But beyond that, it's pretty basic. You don't get very many other tools with a Kindle Scribe, but this is a very powerful feature. In addition to that, it also has some AI features to be able to summarize your notes, very similar to what the ViWoods AI Paper does as well. So I'd give Kindle the number 1 mark on this. I think in second place, I would go with the ViWoods AI Paper. Did a very good job of both the accuracy of the conversion and the preservation of the formatting. And then third place, I'd probably go with the Supernote Manta, only because it also kept that formatting, the indentations, the bullet points. And I would only put Boox in last place only because of the fact that it didn't keep my indentations, and where the other devices did do that. But overall, any one of these 4 devices would be an outstanding device and an outstanding choice for you to be able to handwrite stuff, convert it to text, get it into something on your laptop or your computer where you could then edit it. You're not going to go wrong with any one of these devices. Just kind of a ranking that I would give based on the tests that we've seen here. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. If you found it helpful, found it entertaining, hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Got a lot more content on the way, already planned out, and would love to see you back here. Also, leave your comments down below. What did you think about the test? Do you think I'm totally wrong? You think I've judged them incorrectly? You think I should have done something different? Just put it in the text below or in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. So with that, I will see you in the next video.